Hey all, it's Brian here from quantlabs.net. I'm going to show you the modified Java client, test client that I've modified that I did a webinar on. I'm going to show you how to run it within a Mac environment, OS 10 with NetBeans this time. I prefer the NetBeans IDE over Eclipse for Java. So what we're going to do is, if you're a member, what you do is just come in here and you download the source code. You just log in if you remember. All you gotta do really is just look for the word multiple and look for this posting right here. Source code of multiple interactive brokers TWS data using Java API pushed into NoSQL. So essentially what we're doing is exactly this. We got our interactive brokers TWS. We get our market data for multiple assets using the Java API and using that test client that I've shown, and then we're going to push that data into NoSQL. So we've got here our TWS running on Mac. Make sure you got the classic running. Don't forget to configure enable ActiveX socket clients, and just for kicks, make sure you do not have that check read only. Just precautionary, I always do. Okay, so once you download this source code project, this tar file, this can be easily compressed, no problem on Windows as well. If you are intending to use NetBeans, the IDE, what you do is just import it. I'll show you how to do that. Just import a Java project with existing sources, and all you got to do is expand the project that you download, this one right here, and then import from that directory. It's pretty straightforward. What will happen is you'll get everything pretty well determined and compiled. The only difference is you have to add in the Redis jar file. So in order to do that, all you got to do is come under your project, do a right click, properties, do a libraries, and then just download the jar. And just click on add jar or folder, and then just navigate to it and add it and go okay. Okay, that's pretty simple. But where do we go get it? Well, if you do a Google search, what you can do is just go GitHub, download Redis, and that's the library that I use, or the library for connecting Java programs into Redis. So you just come under here. Okay, so let's see here. So if you scroll down, what we want is the latest Redis jar file. Maybe that might not be a good idea. So what we could do is download Redis jar. Okay, get started. So that will take you to here. Download the latest Redis jar file from Maven. And then obviously Redis clients, you can just download it here and then download the jar file by clicking on that jar file right there. And as I said, you just add the libraries I showed you by coming in under, again, properties, add library, add jar, and navigate to that jar file and add it in. So now once you do that, you can now run it. It should build, and here it is. Now remember, this is the modified one where I'll push data into Redis. So we got to connect. Actually, before I do that, make sure you have your Redis server running. In this case, I obviously do. Just give me a second here. Okay, we have the Redis server CLI and the Redis server here in my terminal. So just go Redis server. Once you install, I've shown you how to do it if you're using Mac OS X in another video. So I'll load up the server, load up the client, another separate terminal session here. Let me just connect in this little program here. It's disconnected for some reason. Disconnect. I guess what I could do is, oh, I see there's two sessions running. Okay, so I think we're okay here. All right, so we've got two running right now, or let me just quit that. Okay, so we'll come back to NetBeans. Let's run it. Okay, there we go. So now it automatically connects into TWS, or Interactive Brokers Data Farm. Come under Market Data, IBM, could be the first one, so it's going to grab IBM, Apple. So we're going to have three assets that we're watching right now with all the data changing. So if I come under my Redis, each tick that comes in from this program gets pushed into Redis. Okay, so into this little Redis server here. But in order to verify all the latest data, we can do an L range for the latest IBM. There's Apple, so we know that it's loading in the proper data, as I've shown in previous source code. Oh, I don't like that. Chrome just spies on you, it feels like. So let me just see here. Did I have that loaded? Okay, so here in my posting for my members, there's a video that will walk you through this program and how to use it with Redis and the Redis client, so you can get a better idea how that works. But this case, I'm just showing you that I can get it running on an OS X environment, no problem. So just to verify that we are working, I'm going to add one more top data. I'll add, I don't know, Yahoo, request top data. So it's now Yahoo. So what will happen is, as that data comes in, I should be able to take a look at the Yahoo as well. So there you go. Everything's cool. It works great. Working with the Interactive Brokers TWS in Java, using this test client at the same time, pushing data into Redis, no problem. And now what we can do is we can load up our whatever. I'll just show you. I've highlighted this numerous times with Redis, the beautiful thing that it is. You can use any client programming language, all of these. So in my case, we got C, C++, obviously Java we're doing, and soon on Mac OS X is Swift. So pretty nice, but we can at least push the data from Interactive Brokers into Redis. Now on a Mac, hooray, I'll talk to you later.